These are the sounds I hear when I wake up in the morning. The roosters crowing and the clacking of the machine grinding corn. My name is Natividad Martin, but people call me Nati. I am 14 years old. The first thing I do is wash my face and brush my teeth at the pila, the spigot outside our house. We get up at first light around 5:30. I live in the mountains of Guatemala, in the town of Santiago, Chimaltenango. We shorten the name to Chimaltenango. I brush my sister's hair. Her name is Sylvia. She is 5. My 2 other sisters are Reina, who is 10 years old, and Sheni, who is 7. Then I brush my hair and braid it with a red ribbon called a liston. It takes a bit of time. A Maya woman never cuts her hair. Her hair is her beauty and her glory. I tie the ribbon and my hair in a bow, and I am ready to face the world. I have an older brother, Diego, who is married. He, his wife Maria, and their baby live with us. I also have a younger brother, Irving, who is only 2. 2 children died, a brother who died of measles, and a sister who died of diarrhea. My mother is Elubia Hernandez, and my dad's name is Alfonso Martin, so that makes me Natividad Martin Hernandez. My parents were born in Chimaltenango, as were their parents before them. Our family has lived here for hundreds of years. In the center of town is a plaza, and this is our centuries-old church, named Santiago or St. James. There are other churches in town, mostly evangelical, like this one, Jesus, the Light of the World. Early in the morning, people leave to work in the cornfields, and the children go to school. Classes begin at 7:30. These children carry their abacus to school. The beads are used in math class to do additions and subtractions. Our 4th grade teacher is Señor Germán Jiménez. He is Chimalteco. He left town years ago to get his teaching degree. Our principal, Domingo Carrillo, is the first Maya of Chimaltenango to direct the school. Classes go to the 8th grade here, and there are about 500 students in school. It is not like it used to be years ago, when it wasn't the custom for parents to send their daughters to school. Now school is a must for both boys and girls. We speak our own Maya language, called Mam, at home and in the street. But in school, all our classes are in Spanish. Did you know that over 60% of Guatemala is Maya, and that there are more than 25 different Maya languages spoken? The mixed blood people are called Ladinos. The Maya people can cross the line and become Ladino. It is difficult to explain, but mostly all that Maya people have to do is change their traditional Maya dress to Western dress. It is also necessary to stop speaking a Mayan language and speak only Spanish. At mid-morning, women volunteers prepare a drink of atol. a hot mixture of wheat, milk, and cornmeal. It's very nutritious, and for some kids, it is their only breakfast. The new road to our town is 14 years old and has already meant a lot of changes. For centuries, the only way in and out was by walking through the mountains for 4 hours to the highway. Now, buses and trucks come right into town. We recently got electricity and a few people have bought televisions. There is one telephone for everyone, but I've never used a telephone. The coming years will no doubt bring more changes to our customs and way of life. I really don't know what to think about it, if it's good or bad. Our parents know that there are big changes ahead, and that's why there are so many kids in school. They want us to be prepared. They want us to get our titles from grammar school at least, and if possible, go to high school. One thing that has changed little here is our dress. All the women in Chimaltenango dress in dark blue skirts, called cortes, and red and white blouses, called huipiles, like my close friends Carmen and Idalila. That's our custom. My mother is always busy weaving. Here she is adding to another huipil. Every woman has to know how to weave. This design of white and red has been passed down from mothers to daughters for centuries. My sister Reina is only 10 years old, but she has been practicing for years. Her loom is small, but my mother will show her what to do. If she makes a mistake, my mother will tell her to undo the weaving. Before, men dress with homespun clothes, like this man who wears the old headdress, called a suti, and a brown sheep's wool jacket, called a capichai. Only a few older men dress that way now. Every Maya town in Guatemala has its own design and colors. This couple is from the nearby town of San Juan Atitan. This woman is from San Pedro Necta. And this woman is from San Sebastian. Life is more busy now, and more women are buying Western dress. Often there is no time to weave, and store-bought clothes are cheaper. And sometimes women change simply because they are ashamed of being known as Maya Indian. The marimba is an age-old instrument and comes from the Mayas. The 6 marimbistas are playing an ancient tune called a son. Our dance also is very old. Every day my dad works in the milpa, the cornfield. Corn or maize was cultivated by the earliest Indian peoples here. We eat corn tortillas every day. It is our bread. I think we should die if we didn't have our tortillas. According to our custom, we plant 5 corn seeds in each hole. My dad cuts down the weeds with his machete, but he is careful not to hit the frijol and squash plants. I will tell you an ancient Maya story. Long, long ago, the great heart of the universe was very lonely and said, "I want someone to share my joy." So he found some dust, made mud, and formed a man. But it rained and he washed away. Next, he gathered straw and made a woman. But when the woman got too close to the fire, she burned up in a blaze. Next, the great heart of the universe gathered sticks to make a man. But when the man played soccer, he was too stiff, and the lashings became undone and he fell apart. Next, the great heart of the universe saw a beautiful green plant with leaves the shape of machetes. He took corn, cooked it, made dough, and shaped the dough to form a person. And so it is when we plant and harvest, cook and eat corn, we continue the act of creation and give homage to the great heart of the universe. There is nothing like a hot tortilla. It's delicious. All the school children dress up to celebrate the 15th of September. That is our Independence Day. Not only Guatemala, but all Central America declared independence from Spain on September 15, 1821. We were all one confederation then, but unfortunately the people split up and formed separate countries. My country has had a war going on for 36 years, and over 200,000 people died. Finally, in 1996, a peace accord was signed, and things are a lot better now. My dad says if I do well in my studies, he'll send me on to get my high school title. You see, the big problem here is land. We are running out of land. The town has filled up with houses and there is little room to build. Then there is no more land for farming. All the land is bought up and being used. Already the farmers are planting on the steep mountainsides. According to our custom, a father divides the land among his children, but my dad doesn't have much. So how can he give even a little to all 5 of us? That is why he wants us to go to school. On special days, all my family goes to the cemetery to visit and remember my dead brother and sister and all our ancestors. We bring flowers and candles. We feel very close to them, even to the men and women we never knew or saw. Everyone goes, including my grandmother. We pray and leave flowers and candles. I certainly get nervous thinking about my future and the decisions I'll have to make in a couple of years. It may mean leaving my family in Chimaltenango and all these mountains. I'll leave behind my language and my customs. I'll be changing my dress and speak only Spanish. It will be a big change. I've only left Chimaltenango about a dozen times in my entire life. It's all I've ever known, and I love it here. At any rate, I don't like to think about it much. What you have seen is my family, my town, and my customs. I hope you have enjoyed the visit to my village.